Guys, the UK rental system can be scary sometimes. Do you know that I have a friend who is being asked by her landlord to vacate the property? Reason is because she's been asked to pay a fee for a damage she did not cause, and when she refused, the landlord gave her section 21, which is also known as no fault eviction, to vacate the property, and she had only lived there for 10 months only. Now, situation like this is the reason why the UK government have made some changes on the tenants law. Okay, so from May 2026, there is what is called the Rentals Rights Act, and I feel that every immigrant, everyone renting, needs to know about these new changes, including the landlords. Okay, so you really need to watch this video to the end so that you know exactly your rights, because knowledge is power. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so that you see my updates every time. So I'm going to tell you the full gist, the full story. My friend have been living in this property only for 10 months, and the landlord had given her section 21 to vacate the property. What happened? She did not cause any damage on the property. Okay, she noticed a leak on the wall. She noticed something downstairs in the kitchen, and then she suspected that maybe the bathroom upstairs could be leaking, and she notified her landlord. So the landlord came with the contractor to repair the damage, and they found out that 2 bathrooms were leaking. This is an old house, right? So the bathroom pipes were leaking, and it's causing damage to the roof on the kitchen. So after the repair was done, or during the process, the contractor had to switch off the tap under the sink. That tap supplies water to the whole of the house, right? So the contractor turned it off in order to do the job. And when the job was done, the contractor turned it on. So on turning the tap on, he noticed that it's leaking, it's dropping water. So it means that he had to tighten it a little bit so that it will not leak. So the contractor told the landlord, if this tap is leaking, they have to tighten it. He just mentioned it to the landlord that the tap can leak when you turn it on. Do you know what the landlord did? The landlord told my friend that she has created a damage, that she spoiled the tap, and that is now leaking. So my friend said, well, she has not noticed that before. If it's leaking, she would have noticed that. So she's just mentioning it to her for the very first time, and that she said that she will keep an eye on that, right? But it's not a damage because the contractor turned the tap on too much and water was dropping. So once you tighten it, water will not drop and water will still be supplied to the whole house, so there is no damage. So maybe the landlord spent so much on fixing the damage on the property, and now she tried to figure out a way to split the bills so that the tenants will also partake in the bills. Few days later, landlord sent a message to my friend telling her that, because she has spoiled that tap, that she has inquired from the contractor and that it will be costing her £200 to fix the damage, and that now she is expected to pay £100 to her account, and she herself will contribute £100 as a kind gesture, a one-off kind gesture, that if there is any damage that is tenant-based damage, she's not going to contribute any money again. So she made it look like, I'm also doing you a favor, it's £200, but just give me £100 and then I can fix what you have spoiled. My friend told her, well, I haven't spoiled anything, there is no damage. Ever since the work was done, water is not leaking, so why am I giving you £100? I'm not supposed to give you any money, and moreover, I made a deposit. If at the end of the tenancy you deem any damage to be tenant-based damage, then it's going to be sorted out at the end of the tenancy. It's not you asking me to pay you some money now, right? So after that, 2 days later, the landlord gave her eviction notice to vacate the property. So most times when they give this kind of notice, they don't even need to tell you the reason. So there is no reason, but my friend figured out that because she's not the type that the landlord can manipulate, or intimidate, so the landlord wants her to leave, probably to put someone that she can intimidate, right? So some landlords are like this. We have bad landlords. I don't know what your experience is, but this is the reason why I'm making this video, so that we stay updated with the latest changes, so that you know your rights. So May 2026, the UK government developed what is called Rental Rights Act. And if you're renting, your letting agency must have sent you a copy of this, okay? But if you have not received a copy of this Rental Rights Act, I'm going to analyze it on those videos. So what has changed? So number one, section 21 is basically gone. So meaning that your landlord or your landlady can no longer wake up one morning and then ask you to vacate the property for no reason. So there must be a legal reason before they'll be able to do that. And one could ask, what are those reasons? So it could be that you're not paying your rent. So if you're not paying your rent, or you're creating damage on the property, or you have antisocial behavior, or under some special circumstances, these are the grounds where they are still allowed to give you section 21. And a landlord can no longer give section 21 to a tenant who has lived in the property for less than 1 year. So in my friend's case, I guess the landlord know that this new rule is kicking from May. So the landlord made sure that she gave out this section 21 just before May. You see, so that just before this new rule starts, she can give them section 21. She's only living there for 10 months, so she's not even there up to 1 year. If it's to be now, that section 21 will be invalid. But because she has done that before May 2026, so it's valid, right? So now no landlord can ask you to leave without legal reasons, which I have listed now, right? And they don't even have the right to do that in less than 1 year of you staying in that property. Another thing that has changed is fixed tenancy. So before now, you usually sign a contract to stay in a property for about a year, okay? And I have seen cases of some landlord, when their tenant wants to leave before the end of the fixed contracts, maybe because they got a job somewhere else, you see those tenants asking them to pay up the remaining money. They will not want the tenants to go. If you're leaving, you have to pay up for the remaining months that you're leaving. And some tenants have been complaining about that. So this one is favoring tenants, right? Now is a rolling contract, so it's by month-to-month rolling contract. You're no longer obligated to stay in a property for a certain number of months or year, right? As long as you give your landlord 2 months notice before you leave, that is fine. If you want to stay for 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, just notify them 2 months ahead, and then you're good to leave the property. Another thing that has changed is rent increases. Before now, there are some landlords that increase the rent more than 2 times in a year, or up to 2 times in a year. Currently, they are only allowed to do that once in a year, and even before they do that, they must give a written notice to you. They must notify you in a written format before they can increase the rent. And also, if that rent increase to you feel that it's above the market value of that house, then you can dispute that. You can challenge them legally, right? So most times when you look up for house valuation, there are some valuations that you can see on the internet on that building that you're living. So you check if the recent increase tallies with the value of that house. If not, you can challenge it. Another thing that has changed is pet ownership. Most of the landlords before now, they won't even rent their property to you if you own a pet, because most of them don't like pet owners to live in their house. But currently now you can request to own a pet. So if you're currently renting and you desire to have a pet, you can ask your landlord that you want to have a pet, and they are not expected to refuse it, right? So this has changed as well. So guys, in conclusion, landlord also have their rights, okay? So everything is kind of balanced in this Renters' Rights Act. If you are not paying your rent, if you have antisocial behavior, if you're damaging the property, or maybe some special circumstances, your landlord can still ask you to leave the property because it is legal. It's a legal reason. So that's it basically. I know that moving abroad itself is already stressful, and when most immigrants come here, they don't want any trouble. So most of the immigrants end up being intimidated. You know, they don't know their rights. Landlords just do the things they like, treat you anyhow, and that is why this new Rental Rights Act is in place. So it is very important that you stay informed, because knowledge is power. Now let me know in the comments, have you experienced a bad landlord before? What is your experience like? Can you type it in the comments so that others will learn? And also, do you think that this new law will actually help tenants? Is it tenant friendly? Let me know in the comments, right? And at this point, if you're yet to like this video, please give me a like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, share to your friends and family who are renting, and also those that are landlord. They need to watch this video, okay? And thank you so much for watching once again. I'd like to see you all in my next video. For now, you take care. Bye bye.